Welcome and good morning, everybody. It's been a long time, but Spirit put it on my heart this morning to relay a tarot message for the collective. So that's exactly what we're going to do today, y'all. Hope everybody's doing well. Happy Friday. We're going to go ahead and open up this reading with a moment of silence for those out there still sick and suffering and that needs to hear a message of hope, promise of freedom, that you too can heal. Just gotta have a little faith. Welcome to the channel. My name is Maria. Maria's Tarot's Journey with me. Old timers, welcome back if you're stopping by. We'll be using the Rider-Waite Tarot, the Radiant Edition, with Soul Journey message cards, the Divine Energy Oracle deck will be used, and the Morgan Greer Mini Tarot will be used if I'm guided to give additional information regarding the messages that are going to come out. Welcome, welcome. I'm Maria, and this is my channel, Maria's Tarot's Journey with me. I haven't been able to do content lately due to personal health issues. However, today is a new day, and Spirit is always on time. Just remember that, y'all. Don't focus on the messenger, focus on the message. With that being said, we're going to clear these decks out and get this party started. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hope all is well. This is a collective energy read. As you can see, Kuan Yin is playing in the background. Set the tone in the atmosphere to remove any negativity that may be disturbing your peace of mind. Sit back, unwind. All right, y'all. Don't be shy if you're coming in. If you're new, welcome. My name is Maria. Introduce yourself. Where you from? What answers are you seeking? Let's get it popping, y'all. Spirit of the Most High and Divine that resides within me, I ask that you provide me with the truth, wisdom, clarity, and understanding. It is only through the collective consciousness that I pray for all those in need of peace and serenity. Guide me, Holy Divine. Protect me, archangels, as I read into the tarot on behalf of the collective's greatest and highest good of all. Allow me to see what it is that the collective needs to hear to serve them throughout their days moving forward for the greatest and highest good of all. I thank you in advance, Spirit, for any and all messages that will be received, and so it shall be. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. How's everybody doing today? Let's go ahead and dive right into this message. What does the collective need to know right now? This is live, full effect, no edits. So with that, let's get it popping, y'all. How you guys doing? Welcome, welcome. If you're new, drop me a comment. Let me know how you're doing. Other than that, peace, love, and walk in grace. It's Friday, y'all. It's gonna be a hot weekend in New York City. It was extremely hot yesterday. Today's gonna be another scorcher. The spirit is always on time. This is a collective, general, overall reading. We got 2 more shuffles to go. Sit back and don't focus on the messenger. As I said earlier, spirit needs you to hear the message. So with that being said, let's go. Overall energy, we have here the 9. The 9 of Swords. Swords represents our thinking process. The number 9 represents in your life right now, collective, that there's some worry and anxiety and fears that you have been facing that has been keeping you up. 9 of Swords is an overall energy that's coming out for this reading. I'm sorry, Kwame, I gotta block you for a minute because I gotta be mindful of the overall energy. How can spirit get you to understand the message he's trying to relay in regards towards what is worrying you, keeping you up at night, collective, that's putting you in a state of fear? 8 of Swords, wow. Okay. Your mental blocks right now. You are creating your own inner turmoil and prisons, collective. Someone out there in the collective has placed themselves in their own enslaved bondage with the 8 of Swords. That may sound terrible and terrifying. However, there is hope to be released and freed from this energy. It's going to take some work, collective. But are you ready, willing, and able to get honest with yourself just for today with this 8 of Swords? Because the overall energy is the 9 of Swords. Whatever you've been thinking and contemplating and dwelling on has put you in a state of immobility and is keeping you up at night. What actions need to be taken? Here we have the 5 of Swords. A lot of air energy. Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius is coming out for this reading. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you are an Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini. You could possess those qualities and traits in your chart overall, collective. But be mindful. The 5 of Swords is representation of allowing your ego to supersede your intelligence. 5 of Swords, you are always in fight or flight mode. And with the 5 of Swords, the energy that needs to be taken right now, you have to learn how to walk away from anything that is no longer serving you. Because whatever you're fighting for someone's time, love, affection, attention, you're trying to always come out on top in arguments. The action that is needed right now is to surrender. Put the swords down. Spirit is saying you got to put the swords down. Otherwise, you're going to continue to keep enthrottling yourself within your own pain, misery, and suffering manifested through your own mind. Five of Swords. The overall outcome, what needs to be done in order for this Five of Swords to be released from your energy field that's keeping you up at night. Because there's something or somebody, collective, that you find in yourself worrying over. The anxiety, the fears, the self-imposed manifestations that you are creating within your own mind is leading you to not see the bigger picture of things. Advice from Spirit. It's time to lay those burdens down. A completion must be made. And a mission of truth, Ten of Swords, must be acknowledged. All them swords that done stabbed you in the back for far too long. It could have been 10 years, 10 months, or 10 days. There's something in your life right now, collective, that Spirit is trying to show you. As long as you continue to stay in your self-imposed prison with the mental anguish and thoughts that are keeping you up at night, this Eight of Swords is only going to lead to self-destruction and disaster. Because the Five of Swords is in the middle. We definitely got to clarify what's going on with that Five of Swords energy. But nonetheless, we have the Page of Swords. This is a time for not physically positioning yourself into more dilemmas than you can face at this time, collective. Understand, when the Ten of Swords comes up and Spirit is suggesting that you release all the karmic lessons that have been taught to you instead of reliving them. See, we have a tendency as human beings to relive the most outrageous pain that we created within our own circumference due to the fact that we don't know how to release and let go and surrender. Because we always want to what? We always want to fight and be the bigger person in an argument. But Spirit is showing me today's message is about release and surrender. Learning how to let go of things that you have no control over. How do you do that, Maria? Spirit is saying with the Page of Swords, you have to be inquisitive and inquire within your own mind. What is it that's holding you back from freeing you from the enslaved torture with the Nine of Swords that ultimately manifests from this Eight of Swords? Whatever you think it, you shall become it, right? And if you're constantly in a state of fight and flight with another individual or situation that you're trying to manifest to work out in your favor, Spirit is showing me there's someone in the collective that has to learn how to release and let go. What's done is done. Time heals all wounds. Yes, that's a fact. But the wounds won't heal properly if you don't ask the proper questions as to how can you free yourself from your self-imposed prison with the Eight of Swords, y'all. Let's go ahead and clarify now. Thank you, Spirit. Woo! Very intense emotions and energies. That Eight of Swords. That Eight of Swords needs to be stripped and sliced and diced and dissected. You do that by asking questions. By going within yourself with the Page of Swords. Being open-minded and willing, collective. Right now, there's someone out there feeling as if with the victimhood, the victim mentality that has been programmed within us for far too long. Sometimes it's not about why are we where we're at. It's what we're gonna do to release ourselves from the emotional tendencies that put us in this state of fear and shock and keep us up late at night, always having to worry about how we gonna win the next argument when the encounter with the Ten of Swords, we're faced with the dilemmas all over again. It's a repetitive cycle. Self-inflicted pain, y'all. Spirit wants you to know, surrender. Surrender right now represents an all-encompassed feeling. No, you're not weak, collective. Just because you give up, sometimes walking away is the only option in order to preserve whatever mental stability and capabilities you have in order to move forward to begin the healing process with this Ten of Swords. Okay? Well, let's go ahead and clarify that Five of Swords and find out what are you interacting with, what is holding you back, what the Spirit want you to know regarding the Five of Swords energy. When it comes to you feeling like you're entrapped in some sort of triangle of self-obsession I see here. And it all comes back to us at the end of the day. Spirit is showing me it's going to begin with us and it's going to end with us. Everything that we are feeling, thinking, and going through in our lives, it begins with our thoughts. Nine of Swords. Nine of Swords is keeping you up at night for the simple fact that the Eight of Swords has positioned you to believe that you always have to fight in order to get your respect and honor. But Spirit wants you to know surrender is the key when it comes to releasing and letting go of certain things. Sometimes the best response is no response at all, collective. And Spirit is reminding you that if you want this full completion to come into fruition, you got to take a step back and look within your own spirit and soul and ask yourself, why are you always sitting in this Eight of Swords energy that's always keeping you up at night, only to have to do it all over again the next day when Spirit wants you to surrender and let go of the burdens of the past because there's something in the future waiting for you. Clarify the Five of Swords, please. Haha. Two of Swords is clarifying this Five of Swords energy. The action that's needed right now is not being made because of the indecision that you have caused and created, collective, within your own mind. Refusal and being outright defiant towards situations, people, places, and things that ultimately you already know at the end of the day that's keeping you up at night is no longer of service to you for your greatest and highest good. And as a result, you're in internal and external emotional and physical conflict with where you need to be. Two of Swords. You don't know whether you should stay or go. I need more information. It's revolving around an authoritative figure that ultimately you're afraid to cut ties with this King of Pentacles energy because it could be a father figure. It could be a very important male figure in your life. But you don't know how to make that decision to stop fighting and let go of the negative energy that keeps you up at night, collective. But Spirit wants you to know the Ten of Swords. The pain has to come to an end. And the way the pain is going to come to an end is by making a decision. But with the Two of Swords, surrounding this King of Pentacles energy, you're always in conflict with this individual, collective. Therefore, it's time for you to ask important questions about which route and road you want to go down. Page of Swords. Clarified with the Queen. Look at this. The Queen of Pentacles. So we do have a queen and a king. We have a couple here. The King and Queen of Pentacles is a powerful couple. However, because your self-esteem and your self-worth and self-value has been cut, shredded, sliced, diced down the sides, you can't see your true value and self-worth, collective. Spirit needs you to start looking within yourself and stop looking on the outside of your circumstances and situation regarding this King of Pentacles energy. Being codependent and holding on to energies and people and places in your life that are no longer in service of your greatest and your highest good is not going to be conducive towards your mental health at the end of the day, with the Nine of Swords being the overall message and theme. Why? Because the Eight of Swords is being clarified with the Ten of Wands. Ten of Wands is another completion, another energy that we must learn how to conquer and defeat and persevere over. And particularly with the Ten of Swords as well. So not only do you have to manifest emotionally and intelligently by questioning yourself, physically, what are you doing with the Ten of Wands? What actions are you taking to continue to hold yourself in your own enslaved bondage with your thoughts? Okay? Ten of Swords is being clarified with Knight of Pentacles. This has been a slow, ongoing process for you regarding this King of Pentacles energy, in which you finding it difficult to take the blindfolds off due to the fact with the Five of Swords energy overall is preventing you from seeing things for what they truly are. Knight of Pentacles is clarifying this Ten of Swords energy, meaning it's hard for you to surrender and let go and walk away from this individual. Why? Because here we have the Page of Swords being clarified with the Queen of Pentacles. At the end of the day, whether you're a male or a female or male in this current situation, the message is going to be the same for both parties. As long as you continue to fight against your own truth and you continue to drag your feet and carry the burdens upon your shoulders, this is going to be the end results, which will constantly be the Eight of Swords energy. You're always going to find yourself enthralled at night with the Nine of Swords, worry and having anxiety attacks and having that fear of change. Two of Swords. You have the answers within you to free yourself from this King of Pentacles energy. This very manipulative, authoritative figure that only is attached to you because ego is telling them to continue to fight, and you are continuing to fight with yourself, collective, by refusing to let go and surrender to what Spirit has already showed you. This is a burden on your spirit. It's a burden on your soul. Spirit is trying to guide you with the Page of Swords energy. Hell, Spirit has even placed certain people in your life to show you you don't have to continue to carry the burdens mentally. Whoever you're connecting with that has the authority and the resources to seemingly control the outcome of the situation, Spirit wants you to know, drop those burdens that you fear at night by releasing and letting go. Surrender is the only way to freedom from your own mental anguish. So the Ten of Wands is clarifying the Eight of Swords energy. We as human beings, we have a tendency to put ourselves in our own prisons. And we do that with the thoughts that we think and the fears of the unknown, the scenarios and the outcomes of not knowing what will happen if I do surrender and let go. Therefore, indecision is at play in regards towards removing yourself from a situation that ultimately is causing you heartache and pain and emotional grief. Bottom of the deck, we got the Eight of Swords again. So it's a lot of work that needs to be done. Nine of Swords. Here we go. Many of us in the collective, we are striving for, we are looking for that Nine of Cups, that wish fulfillment. We are always looking for that wish fulfillment in another human being. But Spirit is reminding all of us, including myself, sometimes what we think we need and what we think we want, at the end of the day, is it truly what the universe is positioning us for? Because as long as the ties that bind us together, and as long as we continue to hold on to false evidence that was created within our own minds, Spirit is showing us we have to surrender and let go of the burdens of the past. Ten of Wands. In order for completion to take place and a decision to be made regarding this King of Pentacles and this Queen of Pentacles, the Five of Swords, that internal conflict must go. How do we release and let go of the pressures and the stresses of life, looking for that happiness outside of ourselves, when at the end of the day, the Nine of Cups ultimately is a representation of what's going on the inside, collective wish fulfillment. What truly is making you happy, but what truly is keeping you stuck in fear with the Knight of Pentacles when it comes to these Ten of Swords, that you continue to think and dwell upon. The Ten of Swords is an indication that you want freedom. You want to build your self-esteem back up. You want to show the world the real you. Look, Queen of Pentacles is at the bottom of the other deck too. So, you know, intuitively, male or female, you know your self-worth. But it's a matter of allowing the ego to die. Sometimes we have to surrender our will. What we want, what we think is good for us. And we got to let it go in order to find that wish fulfillment within our own hearts. We got to be true to our own self. And that consists of breaking through the barriers of what's keeping us entrapped in the first place with the Eight of Swords energy. Last message, we have the Eight of Pentacles. It's going to take some work. It's going to take due diligence. It's going to take hard work and effort. It's going to take us to put our foot down. Page of Swords. Ask the toughest questions within ourselves. Start putting in the footwork. Start mastering the art of our own craft. If we want to become fully self-sufficient and independent and break free from our own mental chains and barriers that we are continuously allowing ourselves to live in a state of depression and fear, with the Eight of Swords, it goes to the overall Nine of Swords. And then we got the Ten of Swords here. So there is progress that needs to be made. But what steps are you willing to take in order to release yourself from the seemingly happiness with a connection with this earth sign, this King of Pentacles, this authoritative male energy figure that's in your life, that ultimately has put you in a position to make you feel as if you let go and surrender to the cause. You no longer will be of importance and value. Therefore, the Knight of Pentacles is showing me, that Spirit is showing you guys, as long as you continue to fail to remember where you came from, you will continue to repeat the same message and lessons over and over and over again. It's time to stand up for your true value within yourself. Spirit is showing. And that true value is the Queen of Pentacles. Who are you? Where do you want to be? Are you ready to take the blindfolds off and look at things for what they are and not what you want them to be, collective? Because at the end of the day, with the Eight of Swords being at the bottom of this deck as well, this is telling me that a lot of this pain, misery, and suffering that you find yourself sitting in is self-inflicted because of the things of the past that we tend to hold on to. Spirit wants you to know, whatever happened in the past, it's time to move on and start making moves to heal those swords that continuously keep you entrapped and enslaved. Freedom ain't free, y'all. It's going to take some work. Where the Eight of Pentacles? And that, wait, hold on, I'm looking for the Eight of Pentacles right here. Because that's, the Eight of Pentacles is an energy that consists of us putting in the work, investing in ourselves. Releasing the burdens of the past takes work. It takes strength. It takes courage. It takes willingness to get open-minded and honest with yourself. What are you doing to move forward? Or are you continuously allowing old energy, negative situations that no longer exist in the timeline of life to hold you back from your greatness? What's keeping you up at night, collective? Something to think about. We're going to go ahead and get a divine energy oracle to close out this message. It was very, very deep and intense. Straight to the point. I wasn't sugarcoating nothing. I don't got time to sugarcoat shit. I tell you what I see, how I see it, and how it comes out. That's how the message was relayed to me to give to y'all. So, with that being said, let's get a divine energy oracle message and close this reading out alongside, what's the other deck? A soul's journey message card as well. Thank you, Spirit. Hope y'all enjoy the weekend. Have a happy and safe Friday. Stay cool. If you're in New York City, it's going to be 90 degrees today, y'all. Walk around with them cold bottles of water and ice and have a self-made fan. For real. All right. Let's go. Divine energy. Oh my God. What that say, y'all? Make the necessary sacrifices. Everything that I just said in a nutshell. Thank you, Spirit. Honesty, open-mindedness, and willingness. What are you doing to keep yourself entrapped in your own thoughts that are being of no service? Sometimes it takes making the necessary sacrifices in order to take action to free yourself from your own self-imposed prisons, y'all. In the bottom of the deck, Spirit is saying, trust in the divine plan. Sometimes we are afraid to move on and disconnect in order to reconnect. Spirit is reminding you, if you don't believe in God or high power, just believe in something outside of yourself and trust in the divine plan, because the universe has a way of placing you and positioning you and putting you in a path for you to make the necessary changes and sacrifices that consist of that Eight of Pentacles energy, y'all, that was in the tarot message. So let go and enjoy the ride. Alright? Let's go ahead and get a soul's journey message and close this reading out with truth, wisdom, clarity, and understanding. What the collective should meditate upon over this weekend's energies. Let that pride go, y'all. There you go. Five of Swords energy. Remember, pride. I love myself. And I see myself in everyone. If we allow pride to keep us stifled and blinded to the truth of who we are, which is the essence of love in itself, agape love, that universal cause of love, just because you will continue to stay stuck and stagnated in them swords. But as soon as you drop your pride and your ego and you surrender and let go and enjoy the ride and allow spirit to put you in position to guide you to new fortunes and new truths, that's when your journey truly begins, and you'll start to see that pride and ego has been suffocating you for far too long, and it's time to release and let go. Health. I will honor my physical vessel that enshrines my soul. It's very important to work on our health, whether it be mental or physical, because without the body, how can the mind follow? And vice versa. How can the mind follow if the body is not up to par? So always make sure that your health is on point, y'all. Discipline consists of making necessary sacrifices in your life in order for change to occur in the first place. In order for discipline to occur, you must know, I can accomplish what I set my mind to. What are you setting your mind to? The meditation regarding your energies, the 8, the 9, the 10 of swords, the 10 of wands, the burdens that need to be released and let go. There's someone out there in the collective that is sick and suffering right now, but understand one thing, all that can be released and surrendered, but it's going to take discipline. Work on your pride and your health, and know that spirit doesn't do anything off schedule. Everything happens at the right time in the right place. And with that being said, my name is Maria. I want to thank you for taking this journey with me. Like, share, comment, and subscribe if you choose to do so. All my information is in the description down below. I've been on a hiatus, but I'm currently throwing this message out there because that's what my heart, what spirit put on my heart to put this message out there. Because someone truly, definitely needed to hear some hope. And trust me, hope. Hope is simply hearing other people's experiences. It's not about religion, y'all. It's about how much faith and trust do you have in yourself to get the record straight and let go of the old pains and hurts that are doing nothing of service for you. And trusting in the divine just for today. I'm Maria. I want to thank you. Peace, love, and walk in grace, y'all. Later.